So, dear Versus Virus participants, dear public who has been watching our live streams here for the Versus Virus Hackathon, welcome back. This is a very special moment because this is the time where the hackathon is coming to the end. Leah, are you there? Are you with me?
Yes, of course. I am here. I am a bit exhausted, I have to admit. I feel that we're coming towards the end, but I'm no less excited than in the beginning. How do you feel?
Well, I feel good. I'm very curious to see how our participants were doing, what kind of projects, especially what kind of solutions they're offering to Switzerland and maybe the world. So this is a great moment to see where we're at with our participants during the hackathon. And maybe you can tell us something, Leah, about this deadline of 6 o'clock. I heard there's
Yes.
a little bit of breath to take potentially.
Yeah, so we have come to the end of the 48 hours, but since some of you needed a little bit more time, we decided to extend the deadline for another half an hour. So it goes until 6:30. So if you're still rummaging back there, you have another 30 minutes to put on your deliverables. And if you're still struggling and you're not so sure of how to do that, we have a how-to video from this morning on how to upload it to the app. We are not working with DevPost, we're doing it with our own app. So yeah, make sure to check out the how-to video if you're unsure about it and you still have half an hour to push through if you need that.
Yes, and as we started off kicking off the onboarding on Thursday and the official start was on Friday, we've mentioned that we will highlight some of the projects that are being submitted. And I would just like to also mention that we do have a selection of jury members that will look specifically at all of the projects to highlight those several projects. And here, just to remind you of the criteria they are looking at, I think we have a little bit of a slide, or at least the information, so you can read it as well. So watch out for the 5 following criteria. One is it has to have a relevance for the Swiss ecosystem. Second, it has to have a relevance of the solution addressing the specific challenge. Third, potential for impact on the long term. So it has to have a sustainable aspect to it. Fourth, you have to progress achieved in last 48 hours, of course, during the hack. And there needs to be a value added. So please consider those, and I'm sure you did during all the 48 hours, but just as a little nice reminder. Now, I would like to know, Leah, do we have any statistics on who was participating, how many people, etc., etc.?
Of course we do. We are happy to have this scribble again, which was already designed during the last hackathon, but we adapted the numbers. I think it should appear. Yes, here we are. So I'm going to have to switch this to larger so I can see it as well. We had no less than 7 topics in this hackathon because we were focusing more on the after crisis, or on the relevant topics that we didn't get enough input on last time. So 57 challenges emerged within these topics. We put those into the big hackathon shaker. We had 200 signups from participants who hacked now through these 48 hours. Congratulations already. And they formed 35 teams. We had the pleasure of talking to several ones of those during our update sessions, and we will also be joined later on by some teams. So stick with us here. We had 120 partner organizations without whom this would not have been possible. And of course, 50 mentors who were there to assist the teams, to give them some input, some knowledge, and maybe ask some tricky questions. Have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? So now all of this was put into this gigantic shaker, and we don't know yet how many projects will really be out of this or come out of the shaker in the end, because as I just said, our deadline is extended. So we will only know by tomorrow how many projects will really be submitted. And then, yes, of course, as Rob just said, our jury will have a look at it and then give us 5 highlights. Sorry, I have to Sneeze.
Bless you, Leah.
Wow. I guess it's still pollen is out there, right?
No, it's the excitement.
It's both, I guess. Well, and I know that those are just some numbers, but it's important to also add a face to all of this. So I have the pleasure to talk to Carlos Potamianos, who already joined us for the inauguration. And as in his capacity as an organizer, he knows all of the facts from behind the scenes. So, Carlos, can you hear me?
Hello, Leah. Hello, Rob. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yay, I can hear you too. I know we went through some struggles in this live stream every once in a while, not being able to hear some people. So I'm really happy that I see and hear you, and you look a bit tired, but happy. So how's it going on your side? How do you
Oh,
feel?
it's going very well. We're very excited to get to that stage. It's really fun. It's been a very nice hackathon and another iteration. So we're very happy from that perspective. Just to give a little answer to your question, we already have 18 submitted projects. We hope we will
Oh,
bring that
wow.
a bit up as last teams getting ready to prepare. And I hope this really goes well. But this is really exciting. On our end, we got a live team, a lot of people in the backstage trying to fix everything, helping the participants with their submissions. So it's really a smooth time and good getting last finish line until the submissions, and then ready for some fun later.
Yay. And do you have some more facts maybe for us? Do you know how many messages were exchanged or some more intriguing numbers from behind the scenes?
I do have some information. Unfortunately, not the latest number because Slack doesn't give us these numbers immediately. But I can tell you we have about 300 active participants in our Slack, be that participants, mentors, but of course the team members who help organize this hackathon and who support you during this event. And then we have exchanged on Friday about 3,000 messages. So I expect this today and yesterday to have been about 4,000 to 5,000 as we were getting more active. And probably I'm wrong and it's even more than that.
Wow. Yeah, I guess I'm really happy that I didn't have to read all of them, because then we would need much more than 48 hours.
We read a lot actually, because just to let you know, and I'm not spying on people, but I'm actually in every team Slack just in case they need a little the help of guidance. So sometimes we have a sneak peek to try to help them out. But it's really a lot of activity. My phone keeps buzzing all the time.
So, I mean, you were one of the main organizers of this hack, but what was your main role during the hackathon? So you kept looking into the chats?
During the hackathon, I mean, really try to help out. The first thing on Friday, I was trying to figure out if every team had their challenge, knew that they were going to work on. Some people needed switching teams because, you know, their team had, like, because of time zone issues, some people joined later and they thought they were alone. So we had to reassure them that, you know, their teammates were coming. So a few things like that. So I had to look over that at first. And then yesterday, I spent a little bit of time to work on the app. Basically to add the questions for the jury. And actually, this was something we just put in this morning, as you probably have noticed. But in the end, it went up all fine. And I hope everybody was able to answer those questions.
Yeah. Do you have any fun anecdotes you can share with us? Did you have to push through the whole night or something?
No, this time was much quieter. I mean, last time it was really hell because fun hell, of course.
Hell, of course.
We had a lot of things because we had, like, you know, 4,000 participants, maybe not everyone active, but there was really an order of magnitude more people. But this time here, it was really smooth, and we were really nice in the lounge of the organizers, the virtual lounge, unfortunately, really chilling out and trying to help everybody as things came. And we were there not through too late, but basically around 2 a.m. There was a little bit of activity, especially from the American side of things. But otherwise, things were quite smooth. Particular anecdotes, I guess, yeah, there's always a bit of fun things happening in, like this morning where we had to push the tech through, getting Stronach the pictures in time so he could really show them to the participants. But this is usual during events. It's standard.
But do you have a personal highlight? What was best for you during these last 48 hours?
For me personally, I think it's great that, you know, we get to see people who are still invested in the hackathon. Some of the participants kept working on the challenges that they had last time. Some people just said, okay, I have something going on, I'll do something extra, something new. We had a lot of highlights from the mentors who really were there, you know, very active, very pushy. sometimes I have to admit it created a bit of confusion because they thought the rules were the same as last time. Most of it was the same, but some things have changed. In particular, the DevPost submission was one of things, like we had mentors say, yeah, go to DevPost. Well, actually, we're using the app this time. But otherwise, it was all right.
So were your expectations fulfilled?
Definitely. I mean, for me, I think it was a great weekend for the whole organizing team. I got some feedback of people saying they enjoyed it. It was also much more relaxed for us compared to the first one. And I think overall, I think everybody enjoyed it, and we're getting ready for the next steps.
Yeah. So what are those next steps, Carlos? I mean, we want to know how this journey can continue.
Well, for us, I mean, there's several things. On the short term, we'll, of course, have to get the jury together to really choose 5 highlights among the projects. Then there is getting ready with our continuation of the incubator. Some of us, as I mentioned on Friday, are actually also part of the incubator. So we work on both of these projects, but then there will be new teams, hopefully, from this hackathon who will join the incubator and really help drive their projects forward. And on our end, I mean, for sure, we're trying to prepare some form of festival when confinement is over and we're really safe. So probably looking at something around next year. But before that, we're maybe contemplating yet another hack. But
wow.
We have to think about how that will actually turn out and how it will work. We'll see that later.
Okay, but if we follow the hashtag versus virus, you will keep us posted, right?
Definitely. So the hashtags on all the social media, and we also keep using the Slack likely, so people will be made aware of our next hackathon and making sure they don't miss it.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining me here right now. We will see you in a tiny bit again.
Yes.
But so thanks already now.
Thank you.
And now I'm handing over to Rob, who also has an interesting interview partner.
Well, absolutely. I'm very delighted to welcome one of our dear participants who's a first timer at this Hackathon versus Virus. And his name is Thomas Ross. He's not only a professional athlete, if I know that this correctly, but also a precision medicine scientist and entrepreneur. Are you there, Thomas? Can you see and hear me? Can I see and hear you?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you for the introduction.
Wonderful. Where are you calling in from?
From Lausanne.
From Lausanne. So welcome, Romandi, once more. You've worked on the project Prevail. I just gonna read it out. I'm not sure what it is, but patient genome resource for engagement of verifiable and actionable interventions for long-term survival. I'm sure you will tell us something more about it. But first question, Thomas, how did you come on board for this hackathon? Because this is your first time. How did you hear about it? How did you get motivated to be part of this?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I didn't participate in the first one because I only found out about it through the massive social media outreach that happened during the event. And obviously, then it was too late to register and join. Mm-hmm. And also, one of the mentors, Egli Thomas, had encouraged me to come and join this second one. And so my motivation, and with a lot of my academic and entrepreneurial projects, has always been to use science and technological breakthroughs to help realize the dream of precision medicine and how can people get really personalized care. And myself personally, with a background in epidemiology and clinical research, I felt like I could really contribute something in this hackathon. And with our team, we were really lucky to organically assemble a team with really no one pre-assembled beforehand and not even a clue of any idea, and work on it for 48 hours.
Can you give us some kind of behind the scenes of how you spent the 48 hours? Was there any kind of a clear structure, or was it completely chaotic? And did you submit the project, or are you using that extended deadline? Where are you at with the project, and how did it evolve over those 2 days?
Well, I'll start with the most important thing. Luckily, we did get the submission in. I think it was at 5:58 is when I submitted everything. And
congratulations!
So we have the deliverables in, and the process was quite smooth. Actually, I was very happy with the assembly of our team. People were joining our team left and right. Mentors, thank you to our mentors. Egli Thomas, Didier Thomas, and Chris Lorenz. They were super, super helpful in helping guide us, as most of us were first-time hackathon members. We had one individual that had some experience in previous hackathons, but we were kind of new to it. So we kicked off on Friday night with bringing more people on board onto the team, and we ended up with 6 individuals with a great spread and background, but everyone passionate about healthcare and everyone passionate about health and wellness.
Mm-hmm.
And so we spent the first Friday evening doing a deep dive into what are the current needs with the coronavirus situation here in Switzerland, and brainstorming and vetting these ideas, and really following kind of the design thinking process when you start from zero and you want to come to a good problem to solve. And we identified a few key questions and some unmet market needs that, with our expertise from our team, that we could solve. And then starting, and that went late into the night, 2, 3 a.m. Most of us were still working. And then Saturday morning and Sunday, we went ahead, tackling one thing at a time and developing everything.
So what's the solution, Thomas, that Prevail is offering?
Yeah, so the solution is a platform, both an app and a website, with, in addition, a database. And what it is one of the major needs to addressing the coronavirus situation that's become apparent in the last month and a half is the need for data, and the need for accurate scientific data that is shared with all the stakeholders in the healthcare ecosystem, so that the right decisions can be made and that people can really get the proper care that they need.
Mm-hmm.
So we're proposing a collaborative platform across Switzerland where we can aggregate and unlock some of the data that's being collected currently and will be collected in the future from COVID patients with varying symptoms and varying severity, and to have this database accessible by the researchers and the academics here in Switzerland.
Well, amazing. It sounds like a really important project. So thanks so much for the team's contribution, for your contribution. And maybe, Thomas, I usually ask this question first. Now I'm going to ask it last because our time is up, unfortunately. But how do you feel right now?
Yeah, I feel pretty good. Each of the days I was still able to get outside and enjoy some sports and some weather outside, the nice weather. And we had wonderful discussions with our team, really thoughtful insight that everyone was contributing. And so I'm extremely happy with the whole process, and definitely the hackathon exceeded my expectations, and I'm very positive for the future of our project.
Oh, that's beautiful and very rewarding, I'm sure, also for the team to hear those words. Thomas, thanks so much for joining us. And then hopefully you can have a beer, or I don't think you want to have some more Red Bull or coffee tonight because you spend your last 2 days drinking that. But then enjoy your glass of wine and maybe join our Fun versus Virus program later on. Thanks so much, Thomas, for joining.
Shout out to the hackathon team. Thank you for all the support also.
Thank you, Thomas. Okay, Leah, I will pass on to you because I believe you have another participant in the line waiting for us.
I sure do. My next guest is Susanna Mendes, and she has a background in private banking, and she is joining us from Geneva tonight. Can you hear me, Susanna?
Yes, I can hear you.
I think your video is not yet in the picture. Yeah, here you are. Great to see you.
Hi.
Hi. How are you feeling?
Tired.
Tired, but you're still smiling, so
I
it's all
had
good,
2
right?
minutes to put some makeup so I don't look so bad for you guys.
No, you look perfect, really. So, Susanna, you started the platform Swiss Delivery in the beginning of the outbreak of coronavirus. Can you tell us what this platform is for?
Yes, so I actually wanted to participate on the first hackathon to develop this platform, which didn't, I missed the deadline.
Oh, no.
But I decided to start solo because there was a need for it.
Yeah.
And I was very passionate about the subject, which is connect small business and producers with the consumers in Switzerland. And it needed a uniform, friendly, accessible platform that those consumers could find those producers. I started the platform in English because I'm more comfortable with it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But in the end, it was very useful to put all Switzerland together, and people could find people who maybe didn't speak German. They could find products that they needed in Swiss German, and find those producers in the middle of nowhere.
So is it only for food or for any kind of product?
It's mostly for food and beverage, because it was a little bit like the first needs. So this is it was the most important thing at the time. Now the idea is to open up a little bit more, but it was born out of nowhere, and it was born in a very simple manner.
Yeah.
And there are more of 400 local producers and businesses in Switzerland that are in there.
That's incredible.
And more than 100,000 people that access this platform. And they normally check in average 12 businesses. So they spend a lot of time in the platform and checking them out.
Wow.
The platform is very simple. It was a very, how we say in French, bricolage.
Yeah.
And I really needed support from other people because I was by myself.
Yeah.
To go a second step, because there is way more potential. This is just a simple way as of now to connect these two sides, the producers and the consumers.
Yeah.
But there is way more that can be done.
So now you joined the hackathon to find this necessary support?
Exactly.
And were you successful? How many people joined your team?
Yeah, so it was very interesting because I joined a little bit last minute because I saw the deadline and it was like, no, I cannot miss this time. And I never used Slack before, so I was very lost. I had this other girl who's in my team who actually participated on the first one. And she acted a little bit like my mentor. She was like, pitch everywhere, find people everywhere, find mentors everywhere. Like, just go for it, be proactive. So that's what I did. And I was like, maybe I'm a little bit doing too much because I don't know. But I was like going all channels, joining all channels and trying to find people. And we are a team of 7 people. So I could find a lot of people passionate about the same subject, which is local food for all and sustainability.
Okay, so I mean, this was a real deep dive into the hackathon experience, the first time, and then new programs and new tech tools and everything. I guess this must have been exhausting, but I'm sure you also had some highlights. Was there anything you were like astonished about, or?
Yeah. I was astonished to find extremely motivated people, and also to get motivation by people that I never met before.
Yeah.
And it was honestly, I felt my adrenaline. Sometimes I felt like jumping. I was so excited, and to see other people excited about the same things you are, and also the fact that I've been working for this past month by myself, and to find others mind-like people that wants to go towards to the same goal is amazing. So I'm very thankful you guys organized that, because it was a really wonderful weekend.
Wow, thank you so much for bringing this idea to the table. So I'm curious, what are your next steps with the platform? What's your goal for the next weeks, maybe?
So we spent hours and hours talking with the team, and everyone brought amazing ideas. The goal is to have a marketplace. So basically that consumers can buy from these small business and producers concentrated in one place. So that way you don't need to do multiple orders, and as well combine deliveries. So you decreased the carbon footprint, making everything combined at once instead of having multiple deliveries here and there.
Yeah, I guess that's a very smart plan to go to. So are you aiming at joining the incubator program afterwards?
Everything is happening so fast. I didn't think that far, but yes, I'm not a person who says no.
Well, you can always check it out, and I guess as we explained yesterday, it's always a possibility to join. It's the prerequisites are very, very simple. It's a very simple process to enter, and we're still looking for many projects to join. So it would be so great if you also submit yours. Just to check that we're right, you submitted your deliverables to the end of HEC in the deadline, or do you still need this half an hour?
And I'm very thankful to my team, because when we were starting this, they were submitting.
Okay, great. Wow. Susanna, this sounds so exciting. Sorry?
I really want to thank them.
Yeah, go ahead if you want to say something to them.
No, I'm very thankful to find so many people motivated by so many important matters, and my team, they have been amazing. I cannot wait to meet them in person one day. We also have people in other continents, and which is very interesting as well, to gather their knowledge and their experience from their countries and put together in our project.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Susanna, for this inspiring interview. I think you did a great job, and it's so cool to not get demotivated by not finding other people. You just went through, you did it on your own, and now you have this amazing team. I'm really curious to follow the next steps of swissdelivery.ch. It is, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Well, have a great night, great end of HEC. I hope to see you at the Fun versus Virus or tomorrow at the closing ceremony. Bye, Susanna. Wow.
Really exciting, right? To see, and motivating to see these happy faces as well. Like, people are really excited about participating here in this hackathon. And then I think we're getting some great feedback here, or the organizers. So that's really beautiful to see that people put so much hard work in their free time into projects, and they're still smiling.
Yes, definitely.
Well, we're coming to the end of this slot. Slowly but surely, I'd like to quickly give you an announcement about what's coming after. Right after this, we have a chat or Zoom roulette organized as of 6:45 till 7:15, half an hour networking and fun. Before that, go and grab yourself a drink, and then go and have some fun networking, relax. Put off your shoes if you were wearing any. And also, you can follow the program for the Fun versus Virus also via the app or Slack. And we have followed by a DJ collective from Karlsruhe. I mentioned this also in the morning, from Germany. Sonntagstief will be playing a 4-hour DJ set of electronic music on our live stream here today at 8 p.m., kicking it off with electronic music. So if you are up for some partying and dancing or relaxing and listening to music, this is the place to be.
And I guess...
So what else, Leah?
Well, I think there's not much more to say at this point. We have now, it is now 6:30. So this is also the end of the deadline. Now we don't take any submissions anymore. Thank you so much for everybody who contributed to this. Thanks, first of all, to all of our partners and sponsors, without who this whole project would not have been possible. I think we have a slide so you get an overview of how many there were. It's really so many different institutions, associations, companies who thought this is a cause worth to support. A big thank you to all of those partners and sponsors. But of course, we also want to thank the amazing team who organized this, and we would love to see as many of them as possible. So if you are here now, can you please switch on your cameras? I hope this works now. Let me see. Oh, yes, there's
There
the
we
mosaic. Wow, so many amazing people behind the scenes. You all did a great job. Without you, this would not have been possible. So many hours, not only those 48 hours, but everything that worked beforehand, all the preparation, all the enthusiasm, pushing through when somebody else had a low. You guys rock.
Everybody's smiling. Thank you so much, guys. You did a wonderful job.
So everybody, see you now in the Fun versus Virus, or tomorrow, or both in the closing ceremony at 7 p.m. Have a great evening, everybody.
Let's wave again, guys. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow.
Thanks, everybody.